will cost between 50 and $500,000 over your lifetime. You say, how could it be that big? And so, well, let me give you one example. So let's say that you can't get started saving money because you made some mistakes. Maybe you had a car accident. What is a car accident? That's when you go buy a new car and you buy that new car and you've got a big payment now that you could have been saving money. But instead, for the next 5 or 6 years, you went and messed it up and you got this big car payment. And that's the first mistake that people make. They have car accidents, and then, you have to learn from it. I had a car accident 40 years ago, back in the 80s, and I thought it was cool. And I didn't have one car accident. I went and bought two cars at the same time, two new cars, and had $600 a month in car payments. This was 40 years ago, and I was like, man, this is not fun. When when you're having a hard time paying your bills. And then I went and bought a house and, had a house and two car payments, and I'm doing great, until I found out I was spending more than I was making. And so then I went and made a decision and I said, I'm not going to have car payments anymore. And the other things, I'm never going to buy new cars anymore. So I finally got out from underneath that. I bought two VW diesel Rabbits. At that time, they would get 50 miles a gallon. And if you got on the interstate, you thought you were going to get run over, because I think the top speed on those things were about 80 miles an hour. And so you do that, but I saved a bunch of money and I eventually got rid of that $600 car payment. And guess what happened? I drafted it into a mutual fund account. And that was the beginning of me really starting to make progress